on? What's up, everybody? It is a beautiful day in Amarillo, Texas today. We are headed over to Joe's. He is going to be welding the downpipe today. I picked up some heat wrap, so hopefully today or tonight is the night that we actually get the downpipe on the car and see if it fixes our back pressure issues with the new Borg-Warner turbo. I don't know. I still have my doubts. So we are headed over to Joe's. Let's see if he is stacking some dimes over there. Here's Joe's clean ass SS. Well, dirty ass SS right now. Yeah. Dang good. Cool and all, but just had Oklahoma on my mind, you know, like. Joe's new setup for anyone who hasn't seen it. Doesn't look that much different when you stand back, but there's a lot of differences. Alright, so Joe has welded up the downpipe. I'm gonna drill the hole for the O2 bung. That way he can weld that when he gets back. But here's a little O2 bung for it. And there's a bird that just flew in here. Anyways, so he had to kind of fill in some of the gaps. He's not too happy with the welds, but that's kind of the way that the metal was laid over. So probably we're gonna eventually redo this, but redo it in aluminum, kind of how his exhaust is, because it does save a lot of weight. And you know, it's all about weight when you're trying to race. So I'm gonna get drilling on this O2 bung. Alright, so Joe's got it all welded up.
We're at my house!
Where we should have been the whole time.
Yes, David realizes that now.
I messed up. Okay.
Hey, how many times is that? You really just gotta listen to me, buddy.
One day.
Look, hold on. We gotta take a detour here. Come here. Okay. So, since you've been gone, look at that. I put an air filter on the streetcar. It's pretty nice, huh? But yeah, so there's the new engine. It looks the same, doesn't it? But it's way better. See, we got a motor plate now. Look at that guy. Motor plate. I redid the entire hot side. You can't see it, but all the hot sides all new. Yeah. And it's so much faster. Okay, back to David. So much faster. There's some random cylinder heads. David's building an LS motor for his Mustang.
It's the only way it's gonna run good.
It's the only way it's gonna run good. We finally got rid of that terrible thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, so am I the... Hold on, how do you focus?
No, I need to I changed something. It's not focusing very good.
Okay, I got it. It's focused. How much do you pay your camera people?
You?
Yeah.
I can't afford you.
Ain't that the truth? Look how clean the car is.
Bullshit. It was so dirty.
Look how clean it is. Is it not clean?
Oh crap, I need two.
Two? I put some stickers on the car. Mensker Motorsports, check them out. And then Little John Motorsports Solutions.
Oh man, they paying me for this?
Yeah.
This is not paid.
Check this out. Not paid advertisement. Whoa. Check this out. So, check out this new lid. Man, that last one was just death. It was terrible. Now this one, look how easy that is. Look at that. $15 straight from China. It works so good. And then we put a little magnet here. Instead of having to use the football, we got a little magnet now to hold open the flap. We got fancy since you've all been gone.
Stepping up in the world.
Since you've been gone. Ugh. Okay. David's doing something here. We'll just set this right here.
Alright, so it is heat wrapped, ready to go. That's about how much we're going to have to trim off the top, so it kind of just left some extra up there, and we'll trim it once we figure out if this fixes the problem. So we're going to go mount this, take the hood off, and make some poles. Alright, she's going for her first test drive at the downpipe on there. Oh boy. Like a hood. What is this? What's it blowing off? Oh, just
Oh, what the fuck are they doing?
that was on purpose.
David, what is sticking up at the front of your hood?
It's kind of distracting.
Oh, yeah. So, do you think it's gonna fix it?
I hope so. I'm saying it's gonna fix it. It's gonna fix it.
I like it. I'm gonna say it's gonna fix it too. It's about to pull like a freight train. David's trying to kill me. Here we go. 8 pounds of boost. 9 pounds of boost. Hopefully it's fixed.
Oh shit! Who wants the gap? Damn.
It hit over boost once.
Yeah. Wow.
Whoa. So, it's working.
All right, guys. So I am so excited that the car actually holds boost. You guys don't even know the feeling. I'm sure the people that have been around since we started the build about 2.5 months ago, you guys probably felt like a weight off your shoulders just like me. This has been a long time in the making. We ran into so many issues, but it was finally all worth it. I mean, it started back when we had troubles just getting the car in the air, trying to get the headers off, trying to get the new manifolds mounted. We had to get the AC out of the way because the manifolds weren't fitting. We had to pull the whole wiring harness and the ECU and remount it somewhere else because it wasn't going to fit with the manifolds. We had to drill and tap a plastic oil pan, which we were really sketched out about. I mean, just issue after issue. And then once we finally got it all said and done, we got the fuel system in, we got the car running. We go to do pulls and it didn't even hit full boost. It would just fall off from 8 pounds to 6 pounds, from 6 pounds to like 3 pounds. And just issue after issue. And it was nothing to do with the tuning, it was just the car had back pressure issues. The turbo was too small. So, we switched it out for a Barg Warner. This is a 7687 with a 110 AR, 4-inch exhaust, all built by Mr. Streetcar Joe on Instagram, Joseph Young. I cannot thank that man enough for how much he's done for this car. Like, the feeling of this thing finally holding boost was so awesome. It was an incredible feeling. And this is kind of just the start. Like, yeah, stuff's going to break. Stuff's not going to work from here on out. Like, that's just part of it. But at least the car is running and holding full boost. And we can start to turn it up a little bit. We can finish the tuning because back when we finished the tuning, we never even got to do a full pull where it was holding boost. So we don't even know if the tune's 100% yet. Like, they weren't even leaning on the tune yet. There's so much to be done in the tune, and I'm about to switch from C16 to Ignite Red, and so now we got to go through all that, but now we can finally start making some progress and feel like we actually did something for once. So it only took, 2.5, 3 months, and a lot of Joe's time and Joe's patience and a lot of patience from me, and it's totally all worth it now. And man, such a cool feeling doing pulls in this thing. And people are going to ask me how fast it is. I don't know how fast it is. I don't even think it's that fast. I don't even think it makes 800. Like, I don't know what it makes. It's just a single 7687 on a stock Coyote through a 10-speed auto, making about 9.5 pounds of boost right now. Obviously, we can turn it up. That's pretty much on gate. Gate is only like 8 pounds of boost, so we barely have the controller on right now at like 20% duty cycle. So there's definitely room to turn it up. We just had to get to this point first. So I don't even know how much it's making. It's definitely making some decent power though, because we're on some Mickey Thompson ET Street SS's, and it was smoking them pretty good, but it also hooked decently and we were able to stay in it a couple times. And I think there was only one time I really truly had to let out of it, but it pulls so good. It feels good to finally have this car moving. And man, can't thank you guys enough for sticking around through the build. I know it's been a long time coming, but now we can finally make some videos driving the car around instead of it just sitting in my garage or sitting in Joe's garage and just talking about it and working on it. Like, we can finally make some videos, we can get it to the track, we can race people, they can gap me, I'll gap them, whatever. Like, we can start to have fun with this car. And like I said, things are gonna come up, things are not gonna work out on this car, but at least the turbo system is working, it's holding boost, and that part is off our shoulders. Man, such an awesome time tonight. I'm so glad it started running. Man, I could just talk about this car forever now. So we do have to trim this. We just didn't want to trim it not knowing if this was going to fix the issue. Like, we didn't know for sure that the bigger turbo is going to fix the issue, but it definitely fixed the issue of not holding boost. So now what we've got to do is make the hole bigger in the hood. I've got to get a new exhaust trim ring, a little bit bigger one, and then we'll cut this one down to size, and then we can get the hood back on the car. And I need to put the turbo blanket back on because there was some residue from when I put oil in it that had got on a bolt. And so when we first took the car out from my house, it was starting to smoke a little bit. I don't know if you see it in the clips, you might be able to, but it was smoking a little bit. So we pulled over after the first pull because it started smoking even more. And there was just some residue left on a bolt from when I filled up, or when I put some oil in the turbo to get it started. So that's all good to go. I'm just waiting for it to cool down and I'll put the turbo blanket back on. I'm going to tighten a few things up, make sure it's all good to go. But next week we will most likely get the hood cut and we'll get the exhaust trimmed down so we can put the hood back on the car and make it look like a complete car for once. And in the meantime, I'm hoping tomorrow or Friday we can start getting tuned on some Ignite Red. I was walking over there because those three are filled up with Ignite Red, but this is the big Ignite drum. So hopefully we can start working on some tuning. I already sent the log to Lund from tonight. I sent him that log so that he can look at it and we can start converting the car to some Ignite Red. I'm also going to get a pump E85 tune because we have a roll race coming up and they specifically said no race gas. It has to be from the pump. This is ethanol, but it's technically not from the pump, so I'm going to get a little bit safer tune for some pump gas E85, and I'll probably get the E85 from like Lubbock or Plainview where it tests higher because the E85 here is shit. But I do really want to do the roll race. I'm not sure how the car will do. I mean, Mustangs do trap pretty high. You know, it should trap higher than my Hellcat once it's turned up, but we just don't know how much we have to turn it up. So these motors don't take a lot to make good power, but it's definitely going to have to be in the double-digit range to make a decent amount of power. But when John Lund Jr. was looking at the logs from before, I only have 1050 injectors, so with the Ignite Red, he doesn't think we'll be able to go anywhere above 15 PSI of boost. And we might not even be able to hit 12 pounds of boost when he sees these logs. We just don't know yet. But with switching back to an ethanol-based fuel, with just 1050 injectors, you really need 1300s. So we will see how much we can turn it up. I don't want to upgrade to 1300s quite yet, just because of how expensive they are. Like, I need to get wheels for the car, I need to get some racing seats, I need to do some other stuff to the car, I need to do suspension mods, I need to do half shafts, drive shaft, like all that stuff I've still got to upgrade because it's going to break the half shafts at the track. Not roll racing, but when I start doing some dig stuff, it's going to break the half shafts. It's going to need a drive shaft. So I've got to do all that stuff. So I really am not trying to do some 1300s right away. I'd really like to just keep the 1050s. So if he tells me we can only turn the car up to like 12 pounds of boost for those injectors on Ignite Red, then that's fine. I'll just leave the car in 12 pounds of boost. It's not going to make the power we want, but I'll just have to deal with that. And I'll have to just do some other mods, and then I'll get the 1300s eventually. I don't think I'm going to jump on some 1300s right away. So, plus, I think it's better that way. Like, you know, like let's say the car can only be turned up to 12 PSI. Well, sure, it's not going to make 4-digit power, but it'll make like it'll make decent power. I don't know exactly what it would make, but it'll make decent enough power where I can go to the track and figure out the 60 foot and figure out where to launch it at, and then I can start upgrading all the other stuff so that when I turn it up with 1300s, the car's got all the other stuff with it. So, and you got to remember, we are working with a stock motor, stock trans, so that stuff, you know, it might not hold up. Some of them do, some of them don't. People are going 8s on them, people are blowing them going 10s. So it's, you know, it's hit or miss. I'm definitely hoping mine holds through the year, but we will see how it goes. But I'm just super excited. I know I'm just ranting, but I can't get over how excited I am about this car. So once again, if you are on Instagram, make sure you go over to Streetcar Joe's page, you follow him, comment on all of his shit, like all of his photos because I told you to, and because he has a badass car. We are going to Oklahoma this weekend. He is doing an off the trailer event on Saturday night at Thunder Valley in Noble, Oklahoma. So if you guys want to come out to that, I think we'll get there probably around 4 or 5 o'clock. And if for some reason he doesn't go rounds because it is an off the trailer race, we're going to stay there and do some test hits because he does have a brand new setup. So even if he doesn't go rounds, he's going to stay there to make some test hits to kind of figure out the car because he's got some other races coming up he needs to get prepared for. So we will be in Noble, Oklahoma Saturday night if you guys want to come out and hang out with us and say what's up and see Joe's car run. Other than that, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Huge shout out to Streetcar Joe once again. Huge shout out to you guys for staying along with the build. Huge shout out to Kennedy for putting up with my shit when I'm pissed off about this car. But lots of videos to come. I'm so excited. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did. I will see you guys on the next one. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Snapchat at VanV39. I will see you guys on the next video.